Hey everybody, welcome back to the terrible name of this show that needs to be changed. Ethan, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Doing well? You been reading
Kind
comic
of.
books?
Yeah, I
That
got
is
some
what the show is
post-Watchmen
technically about.
depression.
Post-Watchmen depression?
Yeah, dude.
Haven't you read it before though?
Yeah,
But it's still
I
good.
read like the I read like the full thing this time though, because I don't think I ever read like the mini almost books in the center of it, which I don't know if you like
Yeah, well that's the thing
at the
I
end
think
of
I don't know anything about. Because I've really
like the
only...
yeah at the end of every issue is like a 5-page like book. So you need to read a lot to read these. It's not like your simple normal comic book.
Yeah. Huh.
There's like so much depth and world building in there. That's crazy that like Marvel can't do that in a movie, but they can do it in a 12-issue run. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean...
but it's different.
Yeah.
You can put a lot more words and stuff like that.
Of course, it's different. It's all
But
different.
it does.
All new, all
Yeah.
different.
Yes. All
Sorry,
Batman.
I'm
or
manic right now.
DC All In or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think it's all in, and then Marvel is just... I don't know.
Marvel.
They have the Ultimate universe.
One World Under Doom.
Yeah, one more.
What's happening right now?
I actually think that seems kind of interesting, but I'm not following monthly comics right now, so. No, I was saying, I apologize if any of.
Fuck.
But you're all right.
Fuck.
We got a man
Yeah,
down.
I'm good.
I'm apologizing in advance for any weirdness. I'm in like packing mode. I'm leaving for Georgia. We're actually gonna see each other here soon. So
We're finally meeting each other outside of online.
shut the
I'm
fuck
catfishing
up.
him.
You're catfishing me? Are you doing like a VR chat model? This isn't what you really look like?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've gotten
Yeah.
really realistic.
Yeah. Random fat dude with mustache. Pretty
Anyway,
good.
so you want to get into a little bit of what we've been reading? Well, like I said, I haven't actually gotten to read that much since the last episode. But I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about. So why don't you tell me what you've been reading?
I don't really want to go. I've started reading Scott Snyder's run of Batman, the New 52 run. I'm not going to talk about that because I figure we'll save that for a later episode.
Yeah,
Same
we'll
with
probably talk
Watchmen.
about it.
We'll talk about Watchmen later on, most likely. So I don't really want to go into anything like that. Probably more stuff that you haven't read, that you probably won't read.
Well, I know you're keeping up
honestly,
with Absolute. How's that going?
Yeah, Absolute's going well. I'm enjoying the story so far.
Batman
of course,
dropkicked a child, I heard in the news
Yes,
issue.
pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I lied last episode by saying that was the end of that arc. Nope, that was a 7-issue arc.
Okay.
So now that's over, and we got kind of the Joker revealed and a lot of things.
So was the final boss like the kid that he dropkicked? Was that kind of the end of the arc?
Yeah. No, yeah, it was.
Okay.
That was Black Mask. Was the
Was the child?
yeah, the alien child who has got like weird alien tentacles.
The kid had
I
tentacles?
don't exactly know what's going on in the fucking Absolute or the Absolute universe, dude. I keep almost wanting to say the wrong thing. But yeah, I don't really know what's happening per se. I keep looking over here because my camera's over here, and you're right in front of me. Gotta keep looking the right
Do whatever
way.
you want, dude. I look over
Little bit of
here.
autism.
My OBS is over here. My Discord's over here. Camera's up there.
Yeah, but I don't know. So far, it's entertaining. It's kind of a little all over the place. Like I don't know exactly like who's in control of what, because of course, Superman is like a lot flashing back to his future, and he's just going to like third world countries and like fighting the peacemakers.
Okay.
Which like
he's fighting UN
like the armies.
peacekeepers?
Peacemaker, like the character
like
Peacemaker.
the character Peacemaker.
Yeah, there's just like hundreds of those characters.
Is it like a clone of John Cena?
Which I don't think it's clones. I think it's like mercenaries kind of things.
Oh, so it's
which
like
I don't like this.
terrorists.
Yeah, I don't like this in both these issues so far. Whether it be, I just want to mention this like with the Ultimates or with
Absolute.
Absolute. I don't like that they're using like big class heroes to be like armies, because they have like a bullseye army going on in Ultimate Spider-Man, which is weird to me.
Yeah,
So they just have like a shit ton of
That's weird.
Yeah, just a shit ton of bullseyes.
It's weird how the companies are like almost like paralleling each other in the things that they're doing.
and then
At least in there's like separate universes.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, okay, Bullseye universe, like the Bullseye guys make sense because they're only attacking Peter because he's like New York, and New York's kind of like the headquarters of everything that's happening in the Ultimates universe.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like whatever. It makes sense. I don't understand the Absolute universe though. Like having Peacemaker, you don't see him in Gotham or anything. They're only at these third world countries, which I guess
Well, maybe
that's all they do.
So I know like part of the conceit with the Absolute Universe is like it was made by Darkseid.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just that in the Absolute Universe, it's not that Darkseid's not like the maker. He's not like controlling things. He's just like, it's chaotic. It's like more chaotic.
It's bigger. It's because it really is just like Ultimate is like everybody's controlled by
The maker.
or working with all these big nations are kind of working with the maker, but Absolute's kind of weird because it's like Brainiac's like the leader of the Peacemaker, so it's really just weird. Or like not the leader, but like the main
Absolute
head
also kind of has that thing where like the villains are like kind of in charge of everything.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of weird, but like,
who do you think's doing it better? Who do you think is doing the overarching story better? Like the single issues aside, like the overarching, which one?
Ultimates,
because it's just more all encompassing.
Yeah, I'd say it's more like because we haven't really got any connections, but also Ultimates has been around for a whole other year. You know what I mean? Or almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Where Ultimate has or Absolute has been around for what, like 6 months maybe?
Yeah. Well, I think that Absolute also has the chance to like take these characters that they're starting to build up in these waves that they're putting out, and then do a Justice League eventually, but like kind of what the MCU did in movies, and like actually build up to it. And then when they drop the Justice League book, then it's like a big deal that all these characters are together.
Yeah, I do have to say that like my thing with the Ultimate Universe too, and maybe this is something we could talk about eventually as its own podcast, basically.
Yeah.
My problem with the
Ultimate, catch up on some of that stuff.
Ultimate stuff is I'm not a big fan of the Iron Man stuff where he just finds out that all these people had powers and he's just kind of giving them away.
Yeah, I kind of wish that
like it works like for Spider-Man. I don't mind it too much because like he kind of works because he's just getting like used to it and he's still like a person who has his like set ideals.
Yeah.
But like some are like mainly in the Ultimates. Even though I enjoy that, it's probably my favorite story is the Ultimates.
Yeah, like the main book, the
just,
Avengers book.
Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about some characters. Like he just fucking flies in front of basically Hank Pym and fucking is like, here you go, take this.
He gives him the Pym particles.
Yeah, basically, it's weird. Like I don't.
See, that feels like we're curbing characters, right? Because like Hank Pym should be smart enough to invent it on his own.
But I don't like it's weird because they don't really explain it, at least so far that I've noticed. But it almost seems like he had a what the hell is it called when they stab the stick in your fucking brain, dude? A lobotomy, dude. He almost acts like he's got a lobotomy.
Like his memories were taken away or something?
It's something weird, and he's talking about like he did like terrible things. I don't know what the hell's like happening with him.
Well, I mean, Hank Pym.
And I would say a lot of characters like
universe.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of characters like almost shoehorned in the Ultimate Universe, and like there's some dumb things. Like I do say this is pretty funny, like little almost like non-woke thing they do, or like making fun of wokeness in a bit. Is they have or just like old school wokeness, I should say, not like modern, I guess. In comics, but like this guy basically like this Native American guy takes Hawkeye's stuff out of like a dumpster and basically uses it to fight Roxxon, and Captain America like finds out about it and he's like, I need to shut this down because we can't just have like a random vigilante attacking people with Hawkeye's gear.
Cap is like you can't attack the market.
Yeah, and basically what happens is like
doesn't America not exist?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what the hell. But it's like a weird thing, and then he like finds him and he's like I deserve this. My tribal name is Hawkeyes. And I was like, at first I was like, this is so fucking stupid, dude. This is so dumb. I hate this. And then later on, like after they fight, because then like Roxxon comes and like tries attacking both Cap and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And like after the battle's done and they're finished, he's like, you were dumb enough to think that I had the fucking tribal name Hawkeyes. He's like, how stupid are you? Captain America.
That's good.
And I was like, okay, that's fucking that works because that's like something that's some shit they would have done in like early 2010s where they'd be like, oh, we have an Indian guy named Hawkeyes.
Yeah. It's something they would have done unironically like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely far from some of Marvel's older things that they've done, like Black Goliath, for example. Did I ever told you about Black Goliath?
No, I don't think so.
So do you know the Marvel character Goliath?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when they made a new Goliath, because I believe Hawkeye was Goliath at some point or something, or like anyway, it was somebody who was like a white dude who had like those powers, and then they had like a new version of the character who was a black guy, but for a while they were both active, so they just called the black one Black Goliath.
Nice.
I think this was in like maybe the 70s or 80s. I don't.
It's like that. What was I forget what comic I was talking to you about? The Giant Man, who's not Giant Man. It's just Giant Man.
Okay.
He's just a big black dude.
That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes they ride the line. Sometimes they go a little too far one way, a little too far the other way. It's always writers. Like every writer is different. You never know
of
who
course.
your editor is. But yeah, I mean, I want to catch up on the Ultimate stuff and Absolute. But at this point, like, I'm just gonna wait. I mean, some of the trades are already out, but
Yeah, I'd say something that's worth it to read. I'm really enjoying Daredevil. I think Daredevil's very fun. Or not Daredevil. Sorry,
I was gonna say I don't think
Wolverine.
the Ultimate Daredevil. He's like just a preacher.
Yeah, Wolverine. Is who I meant to be talking about.
Did they do anything with Matt Murdock in Ultimate Spider-Man yet?
No, I haven't seen anything. I haven't even heard his name yet. I think
He was in
maybe
the first
you
issue.
see him as a pastor. Yeah, okay, maybe.
You see him in the
no,
first
he
issue.
isn't. I haven't seen anything about him. I don't. He's not even blind at that
I have
point.
like the
don't
first
think.
6 issues of Spider-Man, so I've read like a little bit.
Yeah, and
He
I think
is blind.
Spider-Man's
He is blind.
okay. I don't.
Or at least he has the glasses on, so I assume that he's blind.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know. I don't know. It's interesting. Both are good. I prefer like the solo stories of I think Absolute better, like just how they're being written.
Yeah.
And of course, I think they have more writers that I just think are like. I feel like a lot of the writers on the Ultimate stuff they are just kind of like more random writers to me that I don't know as well. Of course, Hickman is Spider-Man, so I mean that's of course a big one. But then otherwise, I don't really know any other than Peach
Momoko.
whatever her name. Yeah, but she's even pretty small. Like she hasn't done anything crazy so far in her tenure with Marvel so far.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think she did like maybe like did like a mini series. I know with some different characters because the first one is Psylocke because the Psylocke in Rivals is the Psylocke from her like story.
oh, interesting. Yeah, she hasn't had anything like big enough for me, or like just hasn't been around long enough. I would say because she's been around since like 2020, I think.
Really,
writing Marvel.
I don't know that much about her. Yeah, I mean,
So,
I feel
it's really-
like
that's really
Ultimate
not that much-
X-Men would not appeal to me that much.
Yeah, I don't think it would either.
And honestly,
I like it because I like horror manga, so and it like has more of a horror aspect to it.
Yeah, yeah. And also,
So-
I just think it's too soft of an art style for me, like what I'm looking for. But it's cool that they're doing that kind of different thing with X-Men and like taking it in a different direction. I think that's cool, and it brings different kinds of readers and new readers like being interested, and that's a good thing, especially when you're launching a new publishing line, basically. Have you read any
I think
of the
it really-
Ultimate Wolverine? I've heard that's pretty good, but
Yeah. That's because that's one thing I was gonna say. I don't think like X-Men really works right now, and the way it is because it's like Colossus, Psylocke, fuck, I can't remember the other two. I think there's two others that like lead basically like the Russian Empire, basically,
okay.
which is like the mutant empire, basically.
The Mutant
there's-
Empire.
And then there's like some like rebels like Gambit, Rogue.
Gambit twice and Rogue.
Yeah, Gambit. No, so yeah,
Where's Nightcrawler,
there's Rogue.
dude?
I don't know if I've seen Nightcrawler yet. He might be in Wolverine. I can't remember.
Did you see the fucking Avengers Doomsday casting like announcements?
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm excited about it, but like, are we really bringing back Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen one more time?
yeah, dude. One more. I know people have been talking about a lot now is AVX with that.
Well, I think that's what they're gonna do in Doomsday. I think they're gonna do like a Secret Wars type thing where like the universes kind of get like mashed or destroyed, and then we're gonna see like Avengers versus X-Men. And then I think after Doomsday, when they actually do Secret Wars, is when like Reed Richards will like defeat Doctor Doom and like reset the universe. And I think they're gonna reset the universe, and like most characters are gonna get either recast or like taken out.
I do think it's gonna be a complete clusterfuck, just because of the fact that it's. I feel like no matter what, you're just gonna have a complete clusterfuck because it's, like just forcing too many ideas, and also like I think it's a big thing with Marvel recently too. Is just like swapping writers like every 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and I think with all the Kang shakeups too, I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a Rise of Skywalker type situation where they're trying to please so many people and trying to like fill so many holes that it's just going to be like a total mess, like you were saying. And I'm like, I love the Russo brothers, like, and I've liked all of their Marvel movies, and I think they made the Extraction. I like that too. Like, I like them, but I don't think they can save this. Like, I think it's already kind of dead in the water. I think Marvel should have just, after, like, some of the failures, just been like, we're going to reboot everything.
Yeah, I really don't know why they didn't try and get the Russo brothers to do that Captain America movie. I think that's one of the biggest travesties they did.
Yeah, that movie would have been 20 times better.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, comics...
Did you hear Blade got canceled also?
Oh, finally?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of glad
that's a perfect segue.
Oh, yeah?
But I'll let you finish talking.
Oh, no, I was just saying I'm kind of glad it got canceled because I just think the project was never going to get finished in the like state that it was. If you go through more than like 3 directors on a big project like that, it's probably not happening. And plus, I heard that I forget the actor's name.
The guy from True Detective season 3.
Yeah, but I heard that he is like hard to work with too, and like I think that that's just not good for somebody who's gonna like be in like crossover movies and be in a bunch of other projects and stuff. Because as soon as that person does get fired, then they have to like do retcon, and it just fucks everything up. You can't have somebody like that as like a big name, as like a main character like that.
Yeah. And speaking of Blade, like, if you want to talk about this quick, one of the worst comics I've ever read.
The Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns Blood Hunt.
So this is
really
just the Midnight Suns tie-in to Blood Hunt.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because like the Blood Hunt main event is like its own thing. This is probably just their tie-in.
Yeah, it's terrible though, and it basically leads nowhere. Never read this; it's terrible. And that randomly has a Werewolf by Night comic in it as well.
Is it like connected?
That also sucks. No, not really. It's just like these kids have a seance at a park, and like the werewolf at night comes and fights people, and he ends up killing everybody. And he's like, I feel terrible. Nobody will ever forgive me. And then it ends.
Is this my excuse? So don't ever read this comic about that I've been watching a bunch of werewolf movies. Is that my excuse for that?
Sure. Go talk about your werewolf movies.
No, so I went on this kick of watching werewolf movies. So I watched The Howling, 1981, and then I watched American Werewolf in London, which is a crazy movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got really bored, so I just started watching the Underworld movies.
Oh yeah,
and,
those are good movies, fun movies.
Fun, and I like that. And it's same reason I love like the Blade movies and stuff. I just love like dumb, like fucking action, and you throw vampires, werewolves in, and I'm in. It's like Twilight for boys.
Yeah, true.
It really is what it is.
Yeah, and it replaces Edward with
every shot in the first movie, Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Every shot in the first movie just looks like an Evanescence cover.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. It's fucking sick. So that's been a kick for me. So maybe I can get into the Werewolf by Night. But why don't you like this Midnight Suns book? Why shouldn't people read it? We can't just say, don't read this.
So my main problem with it is, so basically the story like leads up like it's gonna lead to this big thing. Like they're hunting Blade because Blade decided he wanted to just murder all his like compatriots, his vampire compatriots that he trained up. He just murders them all.
Okay.
And then basically they're like, okay, we're hunting him.
He was training daywalkers?
Yeah. Like he already had like a task force of them, basically. Okay. And he kills them all randomly. And then this girl basically goes to Johnny Blaze and I forget Ketch's first name.
Danny Ketch.
Danny Ketch, okay.
Is he Ghost Rider right now?
So Danny Ketch is Ghost Rider. And then
Johnny Blaze is just Blaze. He's got the shotgun.
Yep. He's got the Hellfire shotgun.
Is Hannibal King in it?
No.
Oh, damn.
So it's just two girls
getting curbed.
Who I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the two female characters.
What are their names? They have names, you know.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know if it mentions their names in the comic, if I want to be honest. If you want to see what they look like.
Sure. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I won't know either.
Where did I just see him? Oh. I guess there's... Oh, no. Okay, one is a nurse. Here, let me get up close.
Is that the night nurse?
Yeah, one's just a nurse. And then there's the two on the outside, which
they're just like two normal
female characters.
They're just like normal people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's nothing. They're not wearing costumes.
I kind of love that the like image shot for this team up book is just Ghost Rider and 3 normal ladies, and then the former Ghost Rider.
Yeah, so it basically like just ends up they're like hunting for him, and it seems like it's gonna be cool. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm like cool. They're gonna fight Blade, and then they all just randomly in the middle, like in the second comic or something like that, or third comic, they're just like, ah shit, we all had a dream about this hospital in Chicago. Let's go there. They go there.
I thought we were hunting Blade. He's in New York.
Yeah, they go there, fight a vampire. Blade shows up for 2 seconds, gets kicked out a window, disappears, and then they fight a demon. And that's the whole storyline.
Dude, so many Blade appearances in comics. Like, I've picked up, like, single issues of stuff. Like, oh my god, I'm like, Blade is in this. Sick, I'll pick this up and, like, check it out. And his appearances are always just, like, Blade shows up, something fucking stupid happens, and then he's gone.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And then, yeah, they basically fight this demon, and they later on, the one girl's like, I need to leave. And finds Blade in, like, Thailand, and he's like, yeah, I'm better now. Dude, I don't know what happened, but I'm better now, I think.
One episode, we should do like a pitches episode where we just do pitches for characters, because I have a great Blade pitch, but I'm going to save it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. We should do that next time, since I don't think we have any like big shows or anything coming out next.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good.
No big movies or shows.
Well, speaking of big movies and shows, I mean, big, I don't know, whatever. I guess I'll talk about...
Wait, can I talk about one last... I'm sorry. I know I'm always like the one, because I read so many comics.
I'm going to let you finish.
It's just I read Miles Morales, like the OG Epic Collection, like the original one, and I actually enjoyed it a lot so far.
This is his original appearance, like written by Bendis.
Yep. It's a real original, and then it goes into Spider-Man, which is when Peter gets transported by Mysterio back to Miles Morales' dimension. Yeah. Yep, and it's pretty good. My only problem with it is I think, just reading this for the first time after watching Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, the whole Prowler shit is so much better in those movies. Like, they write the story way better, because really all that happens is like,
but I
Prowler robs.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, I also think part of that is like hindsight 2020. Like, the story was written, so like they are taking that and like doing something different with it.
Yeah, no, and I just, it's like, basically, Aaron Davis robs the fucking Oscorp lab and brings home a spider. Miles gets bit, and then he finds out that Peter got bit by a spider from Oscorp. And then basically he's like, oh, well, my nephew just got bit by a spider, and now there's a new Spider-Man. And he basically just blackmails him and telling him, like, if you tell anybody that I'm Prowler or whatever...
I'll tell everybody you're Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'll tell your parents you're Spider-Man, and yeah, your dad will kill me for making you become Spider-Man, but he'll also either hate you or kill you.
Jesus Christ.
But it's just like, I prefer the whole like emotional...
You think he's like more aggressive in...
He's like more of like a pure villain in that.
Yeah.
Which I kind of prefer, like a little bit of an anti-hero, I guess, from that movie.
I think the
like
Prowler stuff, it works because they're related. Like, it makes more sense for him to have like compassion towards Miles.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of weird.
I'd also think it works better with, like, the triangle between his dad, his uncle, and then him, when his uncle is more sympathetic. Because if his uncle's just a straight villain, then there's no reason to fucking care. Like, just kick his ass.
I really do hate to do this to you.
Yeah.
There is only one last thing I want to talk about. Because we talked about Spider-Man, I just want to bring up...
You need to make a list from now on, so that you know
what
I'm talking about.
This is the last one. It's because we were talking about Ultimates, and I want to get like this out of the way before we talk about Born Again.
I'm interested.
The Sinister Six in the Ultimate Universe, I don't know if you know anything about them. They're terrible.
I don't. Am I going to be upset?
Yeah. Let me start with like the guys who aren't that bad. Craven, not terrible.
Okay.
Whatever.
Is he the leader?
Kingpin's the leader.
Okay, Kingpin is in charge of New York, so that makes sense.
Yep. Mysterio.
Okay, that's not bad.
Mr. Negative.
Oh.
It's like whatever. They're going off the games.
Yeah.
But the last two members, it is Black Cat, who is like a 40-year-old man.
Black Cat is a 40-year-old man?
Who wears... Let me just cover up this other character, because I don't want to spoil this, because this might be the best part. But yeah, this is that Black Cat right there in the center.
He's the guy from Princess Bride.
Yep. And then let me just make sure I get this name right because I don't want to fuck it up. Because eventually he gets injured, and then Black Cat, like it becomes a female Black Cat, who's also black now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because
I saw that. I kind of like that. That's fun. See, that's fun.
Yeah, it's very like the racial naming of the old Marvel dude. They're going back.
Yeah, no, I think it's fun though to do it in the Ultimate Universe where it's like a flip.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's like whatever.
Also, I think what they should have done in the movies is had Zendaya become Black Cat. But that was just my opinion. But I had said that before many times.
But the last character. Let me give you two guesses on it.
Is it a known Spider-Man villain?
See, I didn't know them at first.
Is it Tarantula?
No.
Okay.
Just one more. See if you can get it.
You didn't know them. Because I feel like we'd probably know the same amount of Spider-Man villains, probably. Maybe?
You probably know a little more than me.
Maybe.
You're more of like a Spider-Man, like deep into Spider-Man.
Yes. Is it like a... Okay. Is it... Do I get one more hint?
Yeah.
Is it like a classic Spider-Man villain? Is it like...
It reminds you of... Have you seen The Incredibles?
The Mole Man? The Mole Man is on the Sinister Six? He's a Fantastic Four villain!
Yeah.
There is no Fantastic Four, so...
Yeah. There's Doctor Doom and Reed Richards.
Does he have the moloids?
I don't know. We've seen him. He has got goggles and a staff. That's all we've seen of him so far. And he's got his big buck teeth.
And he's... Does he have, like... I don't even know that much about Mole Man. Does he have, like, machinery? Like, what does he fight with?
I don't know. We haven't seen him fight yet. But
were they, like, the last page reveal is the fucking Sinister Six or something?
No. He's just only fought Black Cat of...
is he fighting them all individually?
He's fought Mr. Negative as well. Which, yeah, whatever.
Mr. Negative is not that cool. In the games, it kind of works, but, like, he's just not that interesting. It's really, like, difficult to make Mr. Negative, like, continually interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta, like, go at, like, full into, like, the psychedelic route of somebody like Grant Morrison. Like, I feel like if Grant Morrison wrote a Spider-Man run...
visual
or
oriented.
Yeah, like somebody like Jeff Lemire.
Oh, you know what I want to read? I want to read that spine-tingling Spider-Man, the, like, horror Spider-Man story. I've actually heard that it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
I think that's, like, a cool idea for Spider-Man.
That's also why I kind of want to read, like, the OG, like, Immortal Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, the horror version of Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just... I don't know. What do you rate that team? What do you think of that team overall?
I mean... It's really not that bad. It's just... It's definitely not as, like, powerful Sinister Six. And powerful, I mean, like, physically just, like, overpowering Sinister Six. It's like a Sinister Six that, like, Peter should be able to fight all of them
easily,
except maybe the Kingpin.
And I guess Mr. Negative's like a weird one too.
Yeah,
or like you really
Mysterio,
have no.
I mean, Mysterio can be like one of his most dangerous villains. So
yeah, I guess because it's gonna be his first time fighting Mysterio, it can be big.
It also needs to be: is it Mysterio where he doesn't have powers and he's just an illusionist, or is it he's magic? Because that's two different.
I think he's just illusionist.
Okay.
So
I mean, and the Black Cat thing is like fun, I guess. Does he like pass the mantle to her, or is that like his wife or his daughter? Do you want to know what happens to him? No, I'm gonna read it. So now,
okay,
because I'm already like basically read most of the first volume, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah,
eventually. So
yeah, I mean it's okay. Everything's okay.
I feel like
you're really missing
off really strong for me. So hearing you say that makes me feel like it probably just kind of levels out. But also, I think they're also trying to make
it's not bad. It's super story heavy though. It's like not like there's almost no fighting in the whole thing.
I think what's happening is that originally the idea for this Ultimate Universe, because Spider-Man goes by like the month, I think, right? Like
yeah.
And
it's still going by the month.
I think originally it was like the first year, and then like some crazy shit would happen at the end of it. But I think now they're trying to elongate it more. So I think maybe they're like
well, I don't think it's part of that. I think it's part of the what is it, 16 months or 24 months until the Maker
there was some countdown.
Heals. Yeah, the Maker heals. So I think it's gonna be the 2 years going on to whatever the big Maker fight's gonna be.
Yeah, I wonder what they do with the Ultimate Universe after that, though. Is my question. And I think maybe they're trying to like continue to set up, because if it's still like popular, which it's sustained popularity pretty well. And if it's still popular, I think obviously they're not going to cancel the universe. They're probably just going to expand it.
Yeah, and Ultimate Wolverine, really, really well done. I think probably X-Men has its fans.
Yeah.
Probably has like really diehard fans, and I think it's more open to like the modern like weeaboo.
Yeah.
If you want to say that.
Yeah, no, but it brings a crowd, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I won't interrupt you anymore. I do want to talk about this eventually, but I'll probably get there at another time, which is Avengers Disassembled. I'm not going to talk about it now. We'll save that for a separate time.
Well, I think we're going to do that as an episode, so we might want to save it.
Yeah. Because I want to talk about that, but mainly because I'm disappointed with it. So you guys will wait till I can air my grievances
I also think
about that.
Avengers Disassembled leads into a lot of stuff. I feel like you need to read the stuff that comes after it.
Yeah. Well, I just don't like the way it's made. But it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But yes, let's get into Born Again, the show.
You ruined my fucking transit, my awesome segue earlier.
Now you get to yap about Born Again.
I've been watching the Daredevil Born Again show. That's basically what I've been doing a lot of my free time. What?
I'll be born again.
They don't play that.
No, they don't play the Black Sabbath song "Born Again" featuring Ian Gillan on vocals.
No, that would be kind of cool, but no. Okay. So
check out our top 10 Black Sabbath songs on Big Nuke Records. That's like a 3-month-old, 4-month-old segue.
Okay, I think I'm going to talk about Daredevil Born Again now. I kind of just totally lost my train of thought. But so I started watching Born Again because I knew we were doing this episode on Born Again, like the comic run. But it's so confusing. It's just like the first like 6 issues of a run.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get there. The show. So I love the original Daredevil show. I mean, at least the first 2 seasons I like really, really, really enjoy. 3rd season. And I was super excited about Born Again leading up to it because I knew that they had kind of like swapped the vision behind the scenes. And then I watched the first episode. Well, they dropped the first 2 episodes, but I watched the first episode and I'm watching the first episode. And this is what I've been telling everybody that I recommend it to. If you watch the first episode and you can get past the first like 15 to 20 minutes, you're golden. But the first 15 to 20 minutes has this like terrible CGI fight between Daredevil and Bullseye. And the thing that sucks about it is some of the scenes are like really cool. Like all the like in-person like real actors stuff. There's like a scene in a stairwell where they do these crazy zooms. That's all really cool. But then it'll cut to like CGI dummies like punching each other, and it's like slow and it looks fucking terrible, and it was clearly shot on that stupid fucking volume or something on like a soundstage. It's just it's like it looks like a Flash TV show like level thing almost, maybe almost worse than that. And I was like, it was jarring, literally, and that's all a flashback. Literally after the flashback of that's like the first like the prologue of the series ends, it gets great. The first like 4 episodes were, and I call that kind of like the first half of the season. He's not being Daredevil. It's been a year and he's like sworn off being Daredevil, and it's like a legal drama. It's like a character drama and like a legal drama. It's like about corrupt cops, and he represents White Tiger in court, and all of that is like super great. And then most recently, they just released the newest 2 episodes. One of them is like it's like a real TV show. It's like just an episode. It's not really connected to anything, and it's just about a bank robbery. And it's also the first like crossover episode technically, because Kamala Khan's dad works at the bank, like Miss Marvel, and like it's not like an egregious crossover. You know what I mean? It's not like they're shoving it in your face. It's just like that's her dad. He lives in the city too and works there. And there's another character. They talk about the Swordsman, which I didn't watch the Hawkeye show. Did you know they brought Swordsman into the MCU?
I did not.
Yeah, so Swordsman exists in the MCU, and in the Daredevil show, they show like a clip of him on the street. It's like a CCTV camera of him like fighting some goons, but he's just like wearing like a black swordsman outfit, kind of like the Princess Bride thing, and he's got like a fencing sword with like a foam tip. He's just like smacking them with it, and the like reporter's like, "You go, swordsman, get him!" And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" So that episode was cool, and it's just like a cool bank robbery episode. And then they kind of go into like the next kind of storyline, which is about Muse, who I don't know anything about from the comics. so I can't really speak on like what Muse is like in the comics. In the show, it's just a serial killer who paints with people's blood, and Daredevil goes and kicks his ass, and it's awesome.
I know there's like a Muse comic going on right now.
Oh, is there?
A red label comic or whatever the fuck they're called, red bag.
Red Band.
Red Band, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know anything about Muse. I was gonna watch a YouTube video about the comic Muse, and then I just didn't have time. But I think Muse has like actual superpowers, and it seems like this Muse is just like a serial killer. But also Muse like could fight, but then I guess everybody in the MCU can just fight for no reason. So,
That's fair.
It's Marvel, whatever. But like so far,
yeah, just watch Brave New World if you want to watch everybody be able to fight a superhero.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, Sam Wilson is not a super soldier, so he's just a normal guy.
But he does have like super wings that have vibranium and Black Panther.
Well, he can't
magic
use
in
the
them.
wings all the time.
Yep.
Well, also, I wish that they weren't like Wakanda magic wings either. If they were just like U.S. military wings, I'd be like, okay, it's like more believable. But the fact that they're like magic, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it ruins the fact that he's not a superhero.
Yeah.
Too.
And so, Born Again, like on the whole, I recommend it. I highly recommend like watching it if you like Marvel stuff, or if you just like kind of good TV show, because like the cliffhangers, the drama, the like suspense of it all is really well done. And like they kind of do this cool duality where they'll just like cut between scenes of like Matt Murdock's life and then the Kingpin's life, and how they're going through like these different like things, and it's kind of paralleling each other, and it's very cool. Or it'll be like Daredevil's like beating the shit out of somebody, and they'll cut to like the Kingpin beating the shit out of somebody. I like how they like show the duality of those characters, because they're clearly setting them as like opposed to each other, but also they're like they can't like be interacting with each other just based on the story. I also know that season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is filming right now, so clearly this.
Oh yeah, and he's. I don't know if you saw.
Did you see the suit?
Yeah, the black suit with you actually get the Daredevil.
It actually has the
on
logo, and I think that makes me hopeful for the next season, because that means they're listening to people. Because people were like, "Why the fuck doesn't he have the logo?"
Yeah.
And so now he's got the logo. But also, Black Suit implies that they might be doing like more like hand ninja stuff, and I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, unless they do it in like a really cool way, but I think they don't need to do that right now. I want to keep it street level. It's my same thing with Spider-Man. Let's keep things street level and like do like more like intimate stories with these characters.
Yeah, I think and I think like this is going to like, because you talked about Spider-Man, and like the Spider-Man movies, I think like the first 2 movies are really well done, because even though Mysterio takes place, like the whole Mysterio shit takes place in Europe, it's still super street level. It's nothing like over the top. Well, I mean,
I think the ending is a little over the top. Like it is kind of over the top.
Yeah,
and it's all
the ending
like,
is.
It's all the like multiverse shit in the background when he goes into the bunker and stuff, and the scrolls are there. Like that is all so unnecessary.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess that's true.
I'm just
but I feel like
it. It's not the way that I want them to cross over. Like I don't need it to always be like some world-ending threat. You know, I think Homecoming is great. That's a great
Homecoming's
movie.
Yeah, perfect. I think Homecoming's the best one. And like, even though I know it has like, you know, I know those movies are kind of like tied together because they are probably the most shoehorned in like with the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
As all like he always has a side character. He's never been in a movie by himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a Marvel thing just to promote their characters.
That might be
over
contractual.
Sony.
That might be contractual.
Yeah.
For like their deal, that there has to be like a Marvel-owned character and a Sony character in it.
Which might be good for the next one, because that might mean Daredevil.
Well, he was in the last one. I think that is one of my favorite scenes of No Way Home. I know like all the cameos of the old Spider-Man, you know, that's fun. But it's not really that like interesting to me on a story aspect, because I know they have to go back. You know?
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not going to see them again, because Sony will definitely not put the money behind making a good Spider-Man movie ever again.
Yeah.
And so, like, the Daredevil cameo is my favorite cameo, because it's like, oh, he's real. He's in this universe.
Unless Spider-Man Noir is great.
Yeah.
That might, you know. Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir.
Is that really happening?
I don't know. Everything keeps coming out about it. Like,
is it going to be animated, or is it going to be live action?
It looks like it's live action, but I'm not 100%
God,
sure.
Dude. I hope it's all in black and white.
That'd be awesome, too. Or, like, do, like,
There's
almost like a Sin City vibe where there's like
some color. Yeah,
some color.
like accented.
Be
color.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is actually a way you could do Spider-Man Noir and make it cool, but I would rather Spider-Man 2099. That's just me, but
yeah. I mean,
I would.
Yeah,
I want
Spider-Man
like,
20
I want like Spider-Man Blade Runner for 2099. I want it to look like Blade Runner and have Spider-Man in it.
yeah, that's fair.
But that movie will
That's the
never
only
get
problem
made.
with like, yeah. It's the only problem with like, I don't know.
Sony.
In the Spider Verse and
I'll
I
write
guess
the
across the Spider Verse is like cool, but like the 2099 stuff is like kind of like it's cool seeing him as like the like controller of everything.
Yeah.
But it's not really, you're not getting actual Spider-Man 2099.
No,
You're
and
just
even when
getting,
they kind of flash back to 2099, it doesn't look dirty. It doesn't look like gross, like it's supposed
no,
to.
it's
look
like a Metropolis.
Yeah,
and it's like
and
big
that's
white
why
like
I think-
ivory towers.
I
Basically,
think that Spider-Man 2099 is clearly like not like the like normal Spider-Man 2099. He's clearly different. He's from a different background because they needed to use him as their own character, and I get that.
and he's also like a vampire.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. That might just be that he does have sharp teeth because Miguel O'Hara has different powers than Peter. He has like claws and teeth. So I don't know if he's actually a vampire.
But it does give vampire like because he like brings out the teeth and has like the red eye. But I don't know. That might just be his powers. I don't really know too much about.
Well, I don't know. They might be
2099
stylizing it too, or he might be a vampire now. I don't know. But Sony, if you want to do a live action 2099 movie, let me know. I'll write the treatment. I have a great idea.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Or even just to get like a 2099.
That we'll do that in a movie pitches episode.
Yeah.
We'll do a comic pitches episode. We'll do a movie pitches episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some ideas. We'll have to come back to that.
Shade the Changing Man movie.
Do we want to hop into
the comic?
Yep.
Yeah, because like I have a lot of things to say like in comparison to the show as well. So we might as well just hop into what we read this month. Daredevil Born Again, which we just talked about, but this time a different thing called that.
Yes, Frank Miller's Born Again. Speaking of Sin City, like I just mentioned.
Yeah, so I used to think that this was like one of those things where Frank Miller wrote this and it was kind of like called Born Again and it was always together, but I didn't know he was just like doing an ongoing at Marvel. And this is just like a part of the story. Which I actually think like makes it a little bit cooler. I don't know, do you want to start off or do you want me to start?
I could share. I guess I can break down the story a little bit. Of course, and I'm terrible with names, so you're gonna have to.
I had to blitz
names.
through the like back half of it, so like.
But yeah, you're gonna have to get me on names a little bit because I'm a little rusty.
Well, there's so many
names.
characters in this too. It's really like, I get that it's like a lot of different plot threads that like converge, but there is so many characters. So let's just set the stage characters wise. So it all starts. Karen Page, former. She worked for Matt Murdock, or she was his girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Did she work at the law firm like she does in the show?
I think she did actually. I think that is part of it because I think Foggy talks about it in the book. And
so we got Karen Page. She's selling herself in some South American country. I think it's just Mexico. But
I think it's further than Mexico.
Maybe.
I want to say.
Anyway, but she's like being a
might be Colombia.
She's like being a porn star down
Portugal.
there, and she is addicted to heroin, and she needs heroin, so she sells Matt Murdock's identity as Daredevil, some random guy, and somehow this random guy gets it to the fucking Kingpin. Which I will say, what I don't like about the comic Kingpin is he's like a global, like, force, I guess. He kind of implies that in the beginning, that he is like connected completely globally. I kind of like that he's more like just New York in the like MCU.
Well, right? I think it does make sense in the idea of like, because in this he feels like he's really like the king of New York.
Yeah.
More than, and I guess it's like a lot of the same with Ultimate Spider-Man as well.
Yeah.
But where like the reason he's connected is because New York's literally just the second biggest city in the U.S.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, this guy is fucking huge across the world. You have
right. I mean, it makes sense for him to have a lot of international connections. I guess. I kind of like when he's not as.
But I don't think he has. I guess it's because I'm thinking of Ultimate Spider-Man, but like to me, he doesn't have like it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah, no, but I'm meaning in this, like they really imply like the Kingpin just has his fingers in every pie.
Yeah.
But I do like how fucking intimidating he is just as a character. and how like just super cold he is. This is like skipping ahead a little bit, but there's like a part where I forget who it is. It's during like the like reporter kind of storyline, but he just like gets somebody's name and he's like, I forget what happens, and he just says, yeah, he's going skiing, break both of his legs, or he says compound fracture both legs.
Yeah, the guy who's like disagreeing with him in the fucking meeting he's having, like the business partner.
Yeah, I forget that guy's name, so I don't know.
But you can break down the story a little more. So of course, Kingpin gets a hold of the information, and he's basically completely fucks over Matt Murdock's life. By knowing everything, he like fucks with him IRS. He does like everything, like the most maniacal thing you can do. And I will say this is a big problem with me for the book, because I don't think it lasts long enough. I don't think that it feels like 2 or 3 comics that he's like.
Doesn't it time jump though? I'm pretty sure it time jumps, like a few months at least.
Does it?
After he loses the house, after the house he loses his place, or his place is being foreclosed on or whatever, because he can't pay his bills because his money is being audited by the IRS, he has no access.
I think the only time it like maybe time jumps is like when he's healing in the church.
Oh yeah,
which is
that's what it is. You're right.
So I think it's like the post, and he finds out that nun's his mother, I guess. Yes. Which is a weird.
I mean, I kind of think it's cool because it's like right by the gym where his dad would like work out or whatever, or she finds him in there, I think.
Yeah, he's just clapping nun's cheeks.
And then I kind of like the idea that it's his mom and she's just still been there forever.
Yeah. So my big problem, I think, with this, like I said, it's just the length that it lasts. Like I think he should have had more struggle for longer, because it is really just like 2 issues.
Yeah, but also
and then he finds out it's the Kingpin.
He figures it out though, like pretty quickly, and you have to turn it around. We can't just have him be beat down for 6 issues.
No, but I think you get like, I don't know. I think you get a little bit more out. Like I wanted him to be like more in a paranoid state, and then like I wanted Kingpin to basically mess with him for longer.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was more.
That it's gonna continue because the Kingpin is just like loving it, like just keeps going for it. And also, I think they could have pursued a slightly different thing, where maybe how he finds out is Kingpin approaches him, because he says like once he's completely gone, I'll like maybe try and recruit him. And so I think it maybe could have been cool if he like beat him down, and then once he's like completely beaten down, the Kingpin like tries to recruit him, and that's when Matt like figures everything out.
Yeah, it's weird, and then like you get to the point where then like the guys like basically there's like one corrupt cop who's like paying for who's Kingpin's paying for his son's heart surgery or whatever.
Which, by the way, the cop who is like corrupt in this, I'm pretty sure one of the corrupt cops in the Born Again show is named after that cop, but they're very different because that cop is only corrupt because of like the son and stuff.
Yeah, it's like he's not a bad guy. He's just like
and the cop in Born Again is like in the show is like an actual piece of shit.
But like it's so weird because you have like then you randomly have like this super soldier fucking nurse, like European nurse.
That was so weird. She just beats the shit. Well, she shoots the fucking guy in the face, and then Ben Urich is like the only person alive, right?
Yeah, and he knows, and it's like weird too, like the whole like. Because he, like, decides randomly to change after the guy dies.
Yeah.
After the cop dies. He basically is like, okay, let me tell. But then, like, nothing really happens with him. He just has cops around him, and almost, like, that girl shows up to his house once. And, like, after that, he's like, you know what? Kingpin's just like, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah.
Even though they're about to, like...
I do like the J. Jonah Jameson pep talk that he, like, gives Ben Urich. I think that's, like, a cool Jonah Jameson moment where he's just like, we could fucking ruin him. Like Jameson is also like completely full of himself, but like in a more like positive way, and it also shows that like Jameson isn't like necessarily a bad guy.
Yeah, I do have to say with this guy, I don't know exactly what time period of when he was writing this.
Yeah,
but it almost feels like he either doesn't want to be here that long, just with the amount of issues. Like he doesn't want to be writing Daredevil for that long.
Like it just goes.
Yeah, and it just kind of ends. It's like randomly. It's like, okay, let me find this hitman. So
I also think the nuke stuff is like it goes from like right here to like through the fucking roof. Like like it's like psychological torture for Daredevil, and it's like this cool like interlacing story of all these people trying to like figure things out, and then all of a sudden it's just like Daredevil's working at a diner, and here comes Nuke, this crazy like Nazi cybernetic psychopath, or he's a Captain America like super soldier or something.
He's a super soldier. He's one of the super soldiers like after Captain America like got frozen and everything like that. So he's like one of the ones that comes back.
I do like kind of hope eventually in the show they do something like that though. Maybe if they don't bring Cap in, even though like that would be cool, I would at least like Daredevil's just like working, doing something, and he just gets attacked by like a crazy person. But I guess like he could just get attacked by the Punisher too.
I don't know if the Punisher works as well.
No, I mean, him and the Punisher are buddies now in the show too. Not buddies, but like they deal with each other.
Yeah. Kind of like always in the comics.
Yeah. Like, nobody likes the Punisher, but it's like, okay, well, he's not killing anybody we like. So.
Yeah. I do have some problems with that, too, the whole Nuke thing. Because basically, Nuke comes out, he finds out about Nuke, and that Nuke's been, like, used by the government to, like, do all these crazy things, and that also the government's, like, working with Kingpin.
It becomes a different story. It, like, becomes, like, a completely different story with the Nuke stuff and the Cap stuff. And, like, that's
and then, like, cool. The Avengers show up at one point.
Oh, the Avengers thing is ridiculous, dude. I was gonna. I love how Iron Man's like, whoa, Daredevil, just stand back. This is an Avengers matter. It's like, did this guy not just try to murder fucking Daredevil?
Yeah. And there's like such weird stuff. It's like, it's not like poorly written. Like I think it's like well written.
It's just you also have to understand it was monthly, so like I guess you had to like keep the excitement up a little more. So like I get it, and I liked it. Like, I enjoyed it, but I do think that there is some, like, pacing issues. But that's going to happen in a monthly comic no matter what.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's not bad or anything. It feels like, towards the end, it almost feels like...
He didn't have a plan for the ending, so he just made something up.
Yeah, either that or it was rushed.
I think maybe he either didn't have a plan for the ending, so he just made up a new ending, or this was... The Nuke stuff was always going to be like a storyline he wanted to do, and then he realized he didn't have enough time, so he just did the Nuke stuff as the ending of Born Again.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested, like, actually when these
I don't know
specifically took
time period.
Like when this 87, I think. Which a foreword written by Ralph Macchio.
Yes, not Ralph Macchio, the actor. Ralph Macchio, the Marvel editor, Ralph Macchio.
Oh, damn.
Yes,
I thought we were going to see the never aging.
Also named Ralph Macchio. And apparently, I heard a story on another podcast that people will go up to him at cons and like take pictures with him because he like or something like says Ralph Macchio, and they think that it's the actor, even though he looks nothing like him.
That's pretty sick. But yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I think it's not bad, and like I think the stuff is cool. Like the way that Kingpin's able to like manipulate
the
the whole
art is
world
really good,
and
by the
turning
way.
against.
We haven't talked about the art at all.
Yeah, the art is very good.
I thought it was like really, really solid, like all the way through.
Mine is Kingpin fighting in his underwear, like every time he fights Matt.
Yeah, but that's cool too. You got to see his roles, dude.
He doesn't really have roles, dude. He's just fucking. Like,
no, he's just round.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like how is it Mazzucchelli is the artist, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like how he draws the Kingpin.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so like difficult to kind of make the Kingpin not seem goofy sometimes, I think. Because like the whole thing is like it looks like fat, but he's like super muscular, he's like muscular. But I don't know. I think there's ways to do it. I think it's also just how you render the character. I think his looks too like round, like too spherical.
Also, Daredevil's like really not in this. Like, I know you're saying the show's like that, but Daredevil's really not in this comic a lot in the suit. Like, it's really just Matt Murdock beating down criminals.
Because he's fucked over and like he's like having all these issues. I get that, but no, in the show it's a different reasoning though. Like in the show, he's not wearing the suit. It's not because his life got fucked over. It's actually the opposite. It's that he's like just trying not to be Daredevil because they kind of play it like Daredevil is like an addiction for him.
That's pretty sick, dude.
Because like when he sees the Punisher in the show, this is spoiler territory now. If you're already watching this, you're spoiled. When he sees the Punisher in the show, the Punisher goes, he's like, "You came to ask me for my permission," and Matt's like, "That's not true. That's not true." And then literally, I don't know if it's that episode or the next episode, he like goes up on the roof of his apartment and just starts like whipping around the like chain stick thing. It's just like, and there'll be like scenes where he's like in his kitchen, like just like doing that thing where he's like zoning out and he's just like thinking about being Daredevil. It's just like, it's like an addict.
So is it like this is like right after She-Hulk he quit being Daredevil or something?
I think the She-Hulk stuff has to happen before. Because I think I didn't watch She-Hulk, so I don't know, but I assume in She-Hulk it's the Nelson Murdoch like law firm that they started. And that's what he's working for. I would have to see She-Hulk cuz so the law firm that he works for in the present time in the show is like with this other lawyer character. And then but in the flashback he has like the Nelson Murdoch one with Foggy and Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have to watch She-Hulk, which I'm not going to do. But there is a scene in the... I don't know if it's been in the show. Did he do that in the show? He might have. I don't remember if it was in the episode where he like goes up and like plays with the stick on the roof. But it's definitely in the trailer where he shows all the helmets, and he has the yellow helmet. So like the yellow suit that he wears in She-Hulk definitely has. I just don't know where it takes place timeline-wise, but I have to imagine probably before.
Yeah.
They do reference Spider-Man, but he's not going to be in it because I think it's just probably like too much like licensing problems and scheduling.
Wait, they mentioned Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I guess Spider-Man's known. People just don't know he's.
No, they don't know he's
Peter Parker
anymore, which is good. No, so there's like Kingpin gives a speech at one point because this the whole arc is that he became the mayor, and he gives a speech at one point about hating vigilantes, and he's like talking about like a man with a skull on his chest and a guy dressed up as a spider.
Hell yeah, dude.
Even though Spider-Man doesn't dress like a spider.
They fucked up by not having J. Jonah Jameson in it.
Yeah, that's true.
They
really should have pulled J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
They should have pulled him in for like an interview with Kingpin. That would have been amazing.
I might be misremembering. There might be a scene of like his podcast or whatever. His like Alex Jones podcast thing that he has on one of the like billboards. But I could be wrong about that. I'd have to rewatch the show. Like I'd have to go back and see. I think there was though. But it's like probably a pre-recorded thing. He's not like in it. It's just like a reference. But I like that. It means at least that it's happening in the background. But of course, I would love the season finale for Spider-Man to fucking like swing in.
Dude, it would be, oh my god. You know what would be an amazing thing? Like just random as fuck. Is just seeing like a clip of J. Jonah Jameson like going through his podcast and he's like, why is episode 1042 missing? And it's just like the fucking, basically like the Joe Rogan podcast, he's just fucking missing an episode because it's all about Spider-Man being Peter Parker.
Oh my god, that would be that would actually be great.
Episodes.
That would actually be great where he like goes down like a crazy rabbit hole of like conspiracy because the episode is gone.
He's like he doesn't remember making it at all, and he's like, "There's like this whole government conspiracy, dude." And it becomes like a fucking meme.
We need a J. Jonah Jameson TV show. Oh my god!
And then he starts,
dude. Great idea. Here's another pitch for Marvel. You can pay us for this one. Daily Bugle TV show. It's like,
but it's just going to turn into Gotham.
No, but it could be like a newsroom style TV show. But it's like you can follow like Ben Urich, like being a reporter.
Yeah, I guess it would be almost like just Marvels. You just call it Marvels.
And you could set up Eddie Brock because you could have him be a photographer, and then he gets fired like at the end of the season or something.
Yeah, I guess you have like that point. You just have Marvels at that point though, where it's like he's like there during the biggest scenes too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean? You could have it go through the series and have him have been there. Yeah, that would be really cool. They're not gonna ever do anything like that because that would be like actually like creative.
Yeah.
Instead, let's make Ironheart.
Yay!
See that? Yay!
Yay!
Actually, I think that got canceled. Did it? I don't know. Maybe they're still doing Armor Wars.
No, I think Armor Wars did get canceled. I think something else is happening with Ironheart.
You can't do Armor Wars without Tony Stark, and you also shouldn't do Armor Wars without fucking Justin Hammer. But who played him? You need to bring him back too.
Yeah, but I also feel like I don't know. Because the whole thing is that there's like, I mean, I don't know the full story of Armor Wars. Explain
the Armor Wars
now.
is basically just that his technology gets leaked, and then a bunch of people make like Iron Man suit technology, and then he goes and just destroys all of them.
So basically, what's happening to the Ultimates right now?
If that is happening, then I guess yes.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of most Iron Man stories are somebody gets his technology and he has to kill them.
Yeah, Iron Man's like a weird, like I don't know. There's so many weird
And he's an
characters in
alcoholic,
Marvels,
but not anymore. He hasn't been an alcoholic for a long time.
He was actually an alcoholic in Ultimates, or in the Ultimate Universe. I don't know if you knew that.
In the original one or the new one?
In the original one.
Yeah, no, I knew that. Is he becoming an alcoholic in the new one? That'd be awesome. Like,
no, his dad was an alcoholic, and he's like, I'll never touch this stuff. Yeah. But Tony's like, I'll never touch this stuff. So
basically they've just taken all of Tony's interesting traits of him being a bad person and just put them on his dad so that this Tony Stark can be like Superman.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he's like the perfect person, except everybody thinks he's a terrorist.
Well, I mean, he kind of is.
And then fucking everybody, like, he basically gets shut out of business and they auction off all his dad's Iron Man suits. So there's like just random people, like the dude who lives in the White House just randomly has the gold Iron Man suit.
Oh, so there is just people who just have Iron Man suits.
Yeah, I mean, Green Goblin isn't Iron Man. I mean, you know that.
No, I don't.
That should be in the first, like, 3 issues of Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man.
I never remember them saying anything about him being an Iron Man.
Yeah, he literally wears the Iron Man suit.
He wears, like, a Green Goblin suit.
No, he wears, like Green Iron Man suit.
I don't know. My single issues are down there. I'm not going to get them.
Yeah, I got him. Don't worry.
I mean, I know what the suit looks like. I agree that it is Iron Man-esque. I just don't remember them referencing that it was an Iron Man-specific suit.
Yeah, because basically Oscorp, because Kingpin is like, I don't want anything to do with Stark Stain.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, so you're going to own this now because I want nothing to do with it. So he gives it to Oscorp. So Harry owns Stain Stark, but is like trying to hide it, that he owns it. Basically.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he basically eventually breaks open a vault that finds out like all the terrible stuff that they have done.
But
all this terrible stuff that the Maker did. Is
as smart as he is in the normal universe? Like, does he build his own suits?
Yeah, he's smart. Of course, he's not like his dad created most of the suits, so I don't think he's like makes stuff. But he's like still smart because he's the one who makes all like the superhero suits and everything for everybody.
Yeah, so he could make like a better suit if he needed to.
Something I don't understand though, because I know, of course, in the beginning of this comic, Peter wears like the black suit for most of the beginning.
Well, it's the suit is Tony makes it like a mesh that it can be anything, but he doesn't know what to make it at first. I think his kid draws the like Spider-Man suit that becomes...
Okay, so I guess I got confused there because it was like saying it was still his tech when later on basically Otto scans his suit.
Okay, so when the suit becomes the Venom suit, which it does.
What?
Doesn't the suit become the Venom suit?
No.
I thought the original suit that he had, like the black one, like became sentient.
No, yes.
Yes. So it kind of does. So does he stop wearing it?
He does, yeah. He basically gets a like Kevlar suit later on.
Yeah, he just has like a normal Spider-Man suit now.
Yep, Kevlar, Nylar.
I think that's Kevlar. Cool, where they almost take him like
spandex,
like really quickly through like almost the MCU Spider-Man path, where he has a bunch of tech and now he's like to basics. That's cool.
Yeah, because basically he gives like his suit himself as an AI.
Yeah, I also saw a spoiler for like further into Ultimate Spider-Man that I didn't read, but at least Peter is like pretty comparable to like main universe Peter. Like he is really strong. Like he has all of the powers that Spider-Man should have.
Yeah.
But he didn't invent his web shooters, which I think kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can wrap this one up. I guess here.
Yeah,
we've talked a lot. What was your take on Born Again?
Born Again, the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like final thoughts. Like I think it's definitely worth a read if you're interested in Daredevil and like big Daredevil stories. And I think it kind of like. You can see beats of it in like basically all the Daredevil like media outside of it as well, so that it's clearly like a huge influence. But I think the back half just does kind of fall apart a little bit and becomes it becomes just more like standard comic book shit. It's not as like tight and like interesting and intricate.
Yeah,
but that's
not like a well.
Yeah, it's not like a gripe. It's just it's good. So I would say for the show, until it's finished, I will say overall with some of my gripes, the show I'll give like a 7 out of 10. And the comic, I think I'll also give like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's my exact take. 7 out of 10. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was. I don't think it's Frank Miller's best work.
Everything Daredevil, 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
yep.
It's good. He's an alright character. He's kind of like a worse version of other street level vigilantes, but he's not bad.
I think Daredevil has interesting aspects. I think it just depends on the writer and how much they want to play with it. I think some people don't play with his like religiosity enough.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like an interesting aspect of him. They kind of do a little bit within the show, and in the previous shows. I think there is things with Daredevil that can be explored, but I think a lot of people usually just have him like fight like Bullseye or a character who's exactly like Bullseye.
Yeah, I think there's like all people
Daredevil
need to go
villains are just
darker
kind
too
of
with them.
psychopaths. Like,
but I don't really know. I just don't know how like you'd write him the right, because he just has weird villains, and maybe like there's some stuff like with that Muse character, because I was hearing like they're super fucked up in the comic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I'm interested.
We'll have to do another Daredevil book.
See what? Yeah. Maybe we'll have to step away from Frank Miller. Maybe.
Oh, you don't want to do Man Without Fear? Okay.
No, I'm not saying not do it, but maybe step away, see what another person's
take on it is. I'd like to read
is.
some of the modern stuff. I've heard the Chip Zdarsky stuff's not bad. I'll look into runs.
Yeah, that's what I was interested in a little bit. And also him and kind of some team ups too, because I kind of want to see like some street level team ups.
Yeah,
as well.
I feel like there's not as many of those as there should be, with like how popular those characters are. Because I feel like the street level characters like are like decently popular.
Yeah, the closest thing I guess we get, which isn't really street level, because Ghost Rider's not really street level, but fucking whatever that Hearts of Darkness, dude.
Oh, Hearts of Darkness. Hearts of Darkness is great comic. We never published that episode, right?
Nope.
No. Okay. Yeah. So the secret episode, we did an awesome comic book that we'll do again one day.
Yep. Once you get the full edition of it.
I think if we ever get to 100 episodes, we should do episode 99. We'll do Hearts of Darkness.
Yeah. So we'll get there eventually.
When we get to 99,
maybe episode 13 for Evil.
Oh, like the Black Sabbath album 13.
Yeah, dude.
With the great song Zeitgeist.
Yes, Zeitgeist.
Is that the song?
God is dead.
Yeah, they were really, really down on that album.
Yeah. But
we can't turn this into a Black Sabbath talk. Yes, we're ending it. Jesus Christ. God, can you just talk to me and be my friend for a goddamn second? Maybe people think we like each other. I'm done with this. Fucking done with this. End it.